Welcome to the 434A Powerline Technician Last Mile Playbook, a guide for C/Q and utility-side electrical in the province of Ontario. This video outlines your last mile roadmap in 8 sections, guiding you from placement through the exam and beyond. Feel free to skip ahead using the chapter markers. Section 1. The Placement Reality. 7,680 hours of work-based training. But getting placed isn't the same problem 309A apprentices have. Powerline employment is dominated by utilities: Hydro One, Toronto Hydro, Hydro Ottawa, Electra, Alexicon, ENWin, plus major utility contractors: Black & McDonald, Alltech, Acon Utilities, Villard, K-Line. Small one-truck powerline shops barely exist. 3 legitimate entry paths. 1. Direct hire as an apprentice at Hydro One or a major LDC. Hydro One runs apprenticeship through the Kleinburg Training Center under the Power Workers Union and Hydro One Joint Apprenticeship Committee. LDCs post their own openings. Hundreds of applicants for tens of seats. A college powerline diploma makes you a much stronger candidate. 2. College powerline programs. Cambrian College in Sudbury is the longest running. 3 intakes a year, 24 seats per intake against 250 to 300 applicants. Highly competitive admission. Conestoga at the Ingersoll Skills Training Center runs a 2-year diploma. Algonquin in Ottawa runs co-op and non-co-op versions. Graduates have strong placement records. 3. Utility contractor hire. Black & McDonald, Alltech, Acon Utilities, Villard, K-Line. They hire line apprentices and journeypersons for utility work that gets outsourced. Less stable than direct utility employment, but a real entry point. Here's what most aspiring 434A apprentices don't know. Utilities and utility contractors publicly report on capital programs and major projects. When Acon wins a transmission rebuild, they hire. When Villard wins a distribution contract, they hire. AEC Stack tracks these capital program awards and hiring announcements across Ontario. AECstack.com, free sign-up. If you're already placed but missing exposure, the gaps are usually underground if you've worked overhead only, transmission if you're distribution only, substation if you're a line apprentice, or live line if you've worked mostly de-energized. Talk to your utilities apprenticeship coordinator. Hydro One and major LDCs have systematic rotation programs. Section 2. Hours and logbook. 7,680 work-based hours under a registered training agreement. 320 hours of in-school technical training across 4 levels, only 80 hours per level. The 434A program is unusually field training heavy. Most of your competency was built on the job with senior technicians on live distribution and transmission systems. Standard pace is 4 years. The 434A Apprenticeship Training Standard was updated April 17, 2023. That's your source of truth. Print it. Walk through it with your sponsor crew leader. Important detail. The 434A trade is non-compulsory in Ontario, per Skilled Trades Ontario. The certificate doesn't require renewal. Practitioners don't appear on the STO public register, different from 309A electrician, which is compulsory. That said, every utility and every utility contractor universally requires the C/Q for journeyperson powerline work. So the credential is effectively mandatory in employment terms, even though it isn't legally compulsory. Logbook discipline. Every competency signed. Every subskill signed with a real date. Sign-offs the same week the work is done. Powerline differs from construction electrical here. At Hydro One and major LDCs, sponsors don't generally disappear. Utilities are stable employers. But crew leaders rotate through promotions and retirements. 6 months from now, the person who supervised your underground splicing might be a foreman in a different region. Common gaps. Substation hours if you're a line apprentice. Underground hours if your utility is overhead only. Transmission hours if you're distribution focused. Live line hours if you've worked mostly de-energized. Recovery moves. For missing competencies, your utility's apprenticeship coordinator can typically arrange rotation. For lost paperwork, phone STO at 647-847-3000 or 1-855-299-0028. For a vanished sponsor, rare in utility employment but possible at smaller contractors, STO has a process for confirming hours when the original employer is unreachable. Section 3. Skilled Trades Ontario eligibility. Once your hours, subskills, and final school transcript are in, STO reviews and issues an eligibility notice. 4 to 8 weeks of paperwork lag. What triggers eligibility for 434A? All 4 school levels complete and passed, 7,680 work-based hours logged, all competencies signed off, sponsor's final attestation submitted. For most Hydro 1 apprentices, the in-school component runs at Hydro 1's Kleinburg Training Center under the PWU and Hydro 1 Joint Apprenticeship Committee. Your in-school transcript flows through that JAC structure. For LDC and contractor apprentices, in-school typically runs at one of Ontario's college Powerline programs or the LDC's internal training facility. If 4 to 8 weeks turns into 16, call STO at 647-847-30,000. Apprentice ID, sponsor's business number, school name ready. If STO says they don't have your transcript, the bottleneck is your training delivery agency. If STO says they don't have the final attestation, that's on your sponsor's apprenticeship coordinator. Don't try to book the exam without eligibility on file. STO won't release exam slots until your file is flagged ready. Section 4. Booking the exam. Book through portal.skilledtradesontario.ca. Sign in with My Ontario account. Pay the exam fee first. Click Examination. Enter your STO ID. Select name and exam type. Indicate accommodations. Choose date, time, and test center. Confirm. Authorization to test letter emailed. Fee structure for 434A. Apprentices completing their program on or after January 1, 2025 get the first attempt fee automatically waived. Rewrites cost $150 plus HST, $169.50 total. Accommodations must be arranged with STO directly before booking. The portal won't capture them. Reschedule once at no cost with at least 5 business days' notice. Don't book before you're ready. Rewrites cost the full fee plus a mandatory 30-day wait. One note for 434A apprentices in remote areas. If you work for Hydro 1 or a contractor doing northern transmission work, you may be writing in a regional test center. Northern Ontario test centers often have shorter wait times than the GTA. Section 5. What's on the exam? Written, computer-based, multiple choice. 90 to 150 questions, up to 4 hours. Pass mark 70%. Confirm the exact question count and duration on your authorization to test letter. The exam is closed book. The test center supplies on-screen reference excerpts, on-screen calculator, scratch paper. Personal calculators, physical code books, prep workbooks, phones, smartwatches, all confiscated at check-in. The 434A blueprint is harmonized to the Red Seal Powerline Technician Occupational Analysis. Confirm the most current weighting on the 434A trade report from STO. Important distinction for Powerline. The single most tested reference for 434A is not the Ontario Electrical Safety Code. It's the Electrical Utility Safety Rules, the EUSR, published by IHSA, the Infrastructure Health and Safety Association. The EUSR is the operating safety code for Ontario Powerline work. Approach distances, switching procedures, grounding requirements, live line procedures, fall protection on poles and towers. Heavily tested. Note on the regulator. The Electrical Safety Authority, ESA, regulates customer-side electrical work and licensed electrical contractors. ESA does not regulate the powerline trade itself. The powerline trade is regulated through STO, and the operating safety standard is the EUSR, published by IHSA. The historical body EUSA, the Electrical and Utility Safety Association of Ontario, was absorbed into IHSA in 2010. The current artifact of EUSA is the EUSR Handbook. Other reference codes that matter for 434A. OHSA Construction Projects Regulation, OREG 213/91, for high voltage approach distances and fall protection on poles and towers. CSA C22.3 No. 1 for overhead systems design and construction. CSA C22.3 No. 7 for underground systems, and the Ontario Electrical Safety Code, where utility side connections meet customer service. Section 6. How to prep. Read the generic Trade Examinations in Ontario Exam Preparation Guide. It covers exam day mechanics and general study strategy. The closest content syllabus you'll get, the 434A Apprenticeship Training Standard, the 434A Trade Report, and the Red Seal Powerline Technician Occupational Analysis. Your most valuable resource, your in-school binders, and the EUSR Handbook from IHSA. Buy the EUSR Handbook from IHSA, tab it, drill the approach distance tables. The EUSR is the textbook for half the exam. For Hydro 1 apprentices, your Kleinburg Training Center materials are the gold standard. The PWU and Hydro 1 JAC structure produces strong study cohorts. Your fellow Kleinburg apprentices are your most valuable study partners. For LDC apprentices, your utilities internal training department typically maintains prep resources. Ask your apprenticeship coordinator. For paid prep through colleges, Cambrian College in Sudbury runs the longest-standing Powerline Technician program. Conestoga at the Ingersoll Skills Training Center, Algonquin in Ottawa. If you're not already an apprentice, these college programs are the most reliable path in, and they double as exam prep for the CFQ. Paid online prep. Trades Exam Hub publishes a 434A question bank, over 1,100 multiple-choice questions. Course Tree Learning publishes Red Seal Powerline Technician exam prep with question banks and flashcards. Both rely on the Red Seal occupational analysis as their source. Cross-check against the current EUSR edition. Where 434A apprentices actually fail. 1. EUSR rules and high-voltage approach distances. The safety code is heavily tested and rigid. Memorize the tables. 2. Underground and cable specialty content if your on-the-job training was overhead only. 3. Substation and transmission content if your apprenticeship was distribution only. 4. Live line theory. Bare hand and rubber glove approach distances, equipotential bonding, sequence of work. 5. Math. Line loading, voltage drop, sag and tension calculations, transformal ratios. What works? Drill EUSR navigation and approach distance tables. Take timed practice exams. Group study with your Kleinburg cohort or college program cohort. Practice the wide scope, not just your specialty. What doesn't work? Cramming. Studying only what you do daily on the job. Relying on field experience instead of the codified rules. Timeline. 3 to 6 weeks of focused review at 10 to 15 hours per week.
Section 7. Exam Day. Bring government-issued photo ID, 2 pieces just in case, your printed authorization to test letter, a pen for scratch paper. Provided at the center, on-screen calculator, on-screen reference excerpts, scratch paper, English and French dictionaries. Cannot bring phone, books, prep workbooks, smartwatch, personal calculators of any kind, the EUSR handbook, any external reference. All confiscated at check-in. Accommodations must be arranged with STO before booking. The portal won't capture them. On screen, 1 question at a time, 4 multiple-choice answers, flag for review button, running clock, question counter. Pacing. With up to 150 questions over 4 hours, you have roughly 90 seconds per question. If a question takes more than 3 minutes, flag and move on. Revisit at the end. Most fails come from pacing on math questions, not from not knowing the material. Pass or fail shows on screen immediately. Unit level scoring follows by mail or email in a few weeks. If you fail, 30-day mandatory wait, $169.50 rewrite. Unit level scoring shows you exactly what to drill before the next attempt.
Section 8. After you pass. Pass or fail shows on screen immediately. Paper trail follows in 4 to 8 weeks. You receive your 434A Certificate of Qualification, your Apprenticeship Completion Certificate, and your Red Seal endorsement. Red Seal is automatic for 434A at a 70% or better exam score. Powerline Technician is a fully harmonized Red Seal trade. You can work for any Canadian utility. BC Hydro, AltaLink, ATCO Electric, Manitoba Hydro, and the Maritime Utilities all actively recruit Ontario Red Seal Powerline technicians. Some apprentices migrate west specifically for the wage differential. What changes immediately? You're a fully qualified Powerline technician. Your wage rate jumps to journey person scale. At Hydro 1 and major LDCs, the collective agreement scales step you up automatically. You can sponsor 434A apprentices yourself. You can take crew lead and foreman track positions. The post-434A specialty paths define Powerline careers. 6 worth knowing. 1. Live line specialty. bare hand work on energized transmission, often paired with helicopter line work. Concentrated at Hydro One transmission and major contractors, top of the pay scale. 2. Helicopter line work, patrol, conductor changes, insulator washing. Specialty employer pool. Villard and Alltech are the major Ontario operators. 3. Substation specialist, switching, breakers, transformers, control wiring. Deep electrical theory. 4. Underground specialty, concentrated in dense urban LDCs. Toronto Hydro, Hydro Ottawa, Electra, and Hamilton. 5. Storm response and mutual aid, premium pay during major steams, ice storms, summer derechos, winter wind events. Cross-utility mutual aid is established culture. 16-hour shifts for days, real money. 6. Crew leader and foreman track, supervisory progression with utility employment. Going independent is rare in 434A. Powerline contracting is dominantly large company work. Crew capacity and equipment investment is prohibitive for solo journey persons. The more common owner-operator path is dual 434A and 309A. If you also hold a 309A construction and maintenance electrician certificate, you can apply for an ESA licensed electrical contractor license and do service line and line extension work for small commercial and rural customers, covering both the utility side service drop and the customer side electrical.
For the full written guide, visit aecstack.com/guides/434A/Powerline Technician. You can also track utility awards and contractor hiring at aecstack.com. Thank you for watching this video.